Hello again and welcome to another art tutorial with Mrs. P. Now last week we were looking at Quentin Blake's illustrations and we were focusing on the eyes, the nose and the mouth, and we started to look at hair. Today we're moving on to looking at the whole body and we're going to look at hands and legs and a bit more hair in detail before moving on to drawing a whole figure. So what I'd like you to do is grab your pen or your pencil. Again, I am going to be mainly using pen. Occasionally I may do pencil, but pen will show up a bit better on the video, but you can do whichever one you like. And what we're going to start off with is, again, dividing the page into 4. So let's split it into quarters. Very rough line again. Doesn't have to be perfect. And there we go. All right, let's recap a bit about the face. In here, I'd like you to write hair and expressions. So we're thinking about different expressions today as well. Okay, let's begin with drawing an normal smiley sorts of face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the nose and I'm going to do a double arrow. So 2 lines and then a rounded, actually I'm going to do a rounded arrow shape. Then I'm going to do some really big egg eyes. Really big actually, almost the size of the whole length of the nose. And I'm going to have the eyes staring directly at me, like that. Then I'm going to draw a very little banana smile. Okay, now I think I'm going to do a U for the face. Right, and now I'm going to do the hair. So for this hairstyle, I want a bit of a fringe and long flowing hair. I'm going to start with the fringe. So very quick lines, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the fringe. Then I want to have the hair flowing down. So I'm going to start where the hair would come from, roughly in the center of the head. And I'm going to kind of go and do one long line. And then I'm going to do quick lines going down. The flow of the hair would be going down. And on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Another long bit, and then down, down, and down, down, like that. And that's my long hair. Maybe another flick there. The hair doesn't need a lot of lines. You don't need to do loads of small dashes. It can just be a few lines to suggest the movement and the shape of the hair. And then I'm going to do my neck a bit like the triangle again, but cut off, and then the top. There we go. So that's one expression and one type of hairstyle. I'm going to show you another type of hair now, which is facial hair with a moustache. So on the space next to it, you can do the nose, and I want a thin U nose. Then I want 2 dot ties really close to the top of the nose. And then I would like a really tiny U mouth directly underneath. Now, this is going to be my character. I'm going to draw the U shape face around it. And then this is my facial hair. So the moustache is going to come from near the nose, either side of the nose, and I'm going to go from the nose outwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lots of small strokes. And I'm going to go the other way. Oh, going from the nose outwards. And then I'm going to do my 2 ears, roughly in the centre of the face, below the eyes. I'm going to do small little round ears. And then my hair, I'm going to take from the central point exactly where I did the parting for the moustache, and I'm going to go out. And that is my little character. I'll include a neck. Okay, so that's a way of doing facial hair like a moustache. All right, let's do another type of person with an expression. Let's do a bit of a worried expression. So we will have maybe some larger dot eyes, maybe a U nose again, and then my expression is going to be a single line, but it's going to be a bit wobbly and down shapen, so it looks a bit sad. And then I think I'm going to have more of a rounded face, not a U. And then ears, I'm going to go and do this sort of shape, slightly different to the rounded one there. Then I'm going to do quite a wide neck and a line which sort of mimics the shape of the mouth. And then the hair, I'm going to have a sideward parting, so the parting is going to be more around here, not central. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And then the hair also shooting off in this direction. And then it's going to come down, so it's going to be sort of big hair. And maybe a couple of lines to show you. There. So there are 3 different expressions. So we've got happy, we've also got quite a happy character here and quite a worried looking person here. Let's move on to a shocked person, or maybe again a bit of a worried person, but slightly different. So we're going to do sort of a U-I, or more like an L. Then I'm going to do the nose from here, and it's going to be a 3U nose. Then I'm going to do my other eye, which is kind of like an L. Then, a bit further down, I'm going to do a downward U, an upside down U. So we've got quite an unhappy looking person. And for their face, I'm going to make them look a bit like a potato. So I'm going to go and do a sort of potato-y shape. And then for their hair, I'm going to do lots of small dashes. And then their ears, I'm going to have quite big ears. And maybe I have a little line to show the ears. And then quite a big neck. And some shoulders. So that's my kind of quite worried looking person. I'm now going to do a very grumpy person. So grumpy. I'm going to do a similar nose. So I'm going to do a kind of a U-shaped nose, 3U nose, but I'm going to make the U's very slight now, so they're not as big a shape. So it's more like a little wavy line, which has roughly sort of, it goes down and in and down and in and down. And then my eyes, I'm going to do quite similar eyes with sort of these L's. And then I'm going to do some angry eyebrows, which are down turning inwards. And then I'm actually going to draw my face before I draw my mouth. So my face is going to be sort of an ovally shape, and then it's actually going to join. I'm going to have a sort of a curve in to really get that angry expression. And then I'm going to have sort of big ears, but not as big as these ones. And then the expression is going to go a single line all the way from one side of the mouth to the other. So I'm going to start from here, I'm going to go up, straight, and then down. So they're looking very grumpy. And maybe my hair, I'll do again some lines. going all the way down to the ear and maybe a bit under the ear. So that's my very grumpy person. And finally, let's do a really happy character, looking maybe a bit goofy. So let's do dot eye, nose. And then let's have a wide sort of expression, and it's looking a bit goofy, so the smile is a bit goofy like that. And then I'm going to do a shape of the head, which goes around. And then for the hair, 1, 2, and then it's going to look like it's just coming out slightly. And 2 ears, the neck, and a bit of the shoulders and top. So that's kind of my goofy expression. So hopefully this would have taught you a little bit more about how to do hair and how to give your character. Right, we're now on to drawing hands. Hands usually are quite hard to draw. However, Quentin Blake's style of hands are really simple, really quick and fun. What I'm going to do is move my camera a bit closer, and hopefully this will work, so you can see it a bit clearer. Right, off we go with hands. I'm going to show you how quick and easy they are. Number 1, 1 line, and then from that line you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. So it's one straight line, and then triangle, 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 and then down. Give it another go. I'm going to do it from another direction. Line coming down, and then I'm going to go triangle, 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 and then up. It doesn't matter if the fingers are different lengths. It looks really nice in that style, so it doesn't matter that they're not perfect. I'll show you another example. I'm going to do one coming out from this side. Straight line, and then 1, 2, really big finger there, 2, 3, 4, and then I may have one going all the way out and then back down. So it really, you don't have to worry about it looking perfect. They can be done in a matter of seconds. Right, now I'm going to show you hands coming out from sleeves like this. You start with the hand and the arm. So I'm going to do a slightly smaller arm so it looks more just like a wrist. So I'm going to do 2 smaller lines, 1 line going up, then my very quick hands, and then the line going down. And then they're going to stop roughly at the same place. And I'm then going to do a line which is wider than the wrist, because that is your clothing coming out. And then I'm just going to draw the 2 lines down. So that shows sort of a wrist coming out from a sleeve. You can do another type of sleeve where, again, draw a wrist with the hands. And then you may want more of a rounded sleeve. So you may want to do a curved line, a bit like a U, or a semi-circle line. And then the 2 lines going down to show the sleeve. And then from this bit, you may want to do a line all the way up to the hand, both sides, so it shows the hand emerging from the sleeve. Can you see with my sleeve it goes around, and it's showing it going around the wrist there too. So that's how you do a hand. Okay, I've just zoomed in for the legs so you can see it in a bit more detail. Right, with legs, here we go. You go a straight line down, and then it's just like the pointy nose actually. It's just a line, then a pointy up, slightly rounded for the heel, then back up, and then you go down, rounded for the ankle again, very pointy, and then up. Okay, so you've done your basic leg shape. Let's do another one. So we'll do it over here. We'll do some small legs. So just 2, we can do 2 lines, and then you can do your feet. And let's have side feet like this. Then 2 lines again. So these are quite big feet in comparison to the skinny legs I've drawn. And then I'm going to show you another type of leg, which is with pencil. Draw a kind of like the number 4. So I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to draw the rest of my number 4. Can you see how it looks like a number 4? And I'm going to go over that now in pen. And then I'm going to do a line so they look a bit like trousers. And then I'm going to draw my foot shape, pointy again. Then I'm going to draw a little ankle and then my pointed foot shape coming away. And that is how you get sorts of crossed legs. If you've looked at the Willy Wonka illustrations, Willy Wonka often has this sort of running, skipping leg, and it suggests movement. So that's your way of drawing legs. Again, like the hands, they're really simple, made up of quite angular, pointed shapes, and they don't have to be perfect. It's in this illustrative, scribbly style that Quentin Blake draws in, so don't worry if they don't look completely perfect. For example, I drew really skinny legs here and drew really large feet, and it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our first part of this art tutorial. I'm really happy with my drawings today, and I hope you are happy with yours. I hope that you've learnt how to draw different expressions from happy to grumpy and different ways of doing hair and facial hair. I hope that you've learnt how to draw hands coming from different angles, as well as coming from sleeves, and legs as well in different positions. So what I'd like you to do is watch this video, which you have done, and then I would like you to click on the next YouTube link whenever you'd like to do part B. And part B of this art tutorial is putting everything together to create a whole body of a Quentin Blake style character. So looking forward to seeing you then, and hope you enjoyed. Bye.